Xenosystems Fragments. Cosmological Infancy. Nickland. Narrated by Skeptical Waves. There is a problem that has been nagging at me for a long time, which is that there hasn't been a long time. It's Saturday, with no one around, or getting drunk, or something, so I'll run it past you. Cosmology seems oddly childish. An analogy might help. Among all the reasons for super sophisticated atheistic materialists to deride Abrahamic creationists, the most arithmetically impressive is the whole James Ussher 4004 BC thing. The argument is familiar to everyone: 6,027 years, ha! Creationism is a topic for another time. The point for now is just 13.7 billion years. Ha! Perhaps this cosmological consensus estimate for the age of the universe is true. I'm certainly not going to pit my carefully rationed expertise in cosmophysics against it. But it's a stupidly short amount of time. If this is reality, the joke's on us. Between Ussher's mid-17th century estimate and, say, Hawking's late 20th century one, the difference is just 6 orders of magnitude. It's scarcely worth getting out of bed for. Or the crib. For anyone steeped in Hindu cosmology, which locates us 1.56 times 10 to the 14 years into the current age of Brahma, or Lovecraftian metaphysics, with its vaguer but abysmally extended eons, the quantity of elapsed cosmic time, according to the common understanding of our present scientific establishment, is cause for claustrophobia. Looking backward, we are sealed in a small room, with the wall of the original singularity pressed right up against us. Looking forward, things are quite different, and we will get to that. There are at least 3 ways in which the bizarre youthfulness of the universe might be imagined. Consider first the disconcerting lack of proportion between space and time. The universe contains roughly 100 billion galaxies, each a swirl of 100 billion stars. That makes Sol one of 10 to the 22 stars in the cosmos, but it has lasted for something like a third of the life of the universe. Decompose the solar system and the discrepancy only becomes more extreme. The Sun accounts for 99.86% of the system's mass, and the gas giants incorporate 99% of the remainder, yet the age of the Earth is only fractionally less than that of the Sun. Earth is a cosmic time hog. In space it is next to nothing, but in time it extends back through a substantial proportion of the Stelliferous era, so close to the origin of the universe that it belongs to the very earliest generations of planetary bodies. Beyond it stretch incomprehensible immensities, but before it there is next to nothing. Compared to the intensity of time, backward, extension is of vanishing insignificance. The unit of Planck time corresponding to the passage of a photon across a Planck length, is about 5.4 times 10 to the minus 44 seconds. If there is a true instant, that is it. A year consists of less than 3.2 times 10 to the 7 seconds, so cosmological consensus estimates that there have been approximately 432 plus 339 120 seconds since the Big Bang, which for our purposes can be satisfactorily rounded to 4.3 times 10 to the 17. The difference between a second and the age of the universe is smaller than that between a second and a Planck time tick by nearly 27 orders of magnitude. In other words, if a Planck time-sensitive questioner asked when did the Big Bang happen, and you answered just now, in clock time, you'd be almost exactly right. If you had been asked to identify a particular star from among the entire stellar population of the universe, and you picked it out correctly, your accuracy would still be hazier by 5 orders of magnitude. Quite obviously, there haven't been enough seconds since the Big Bang to add up to a serious number less than 1 for every 10,000 stars in the universe. Isotropy gets violated by time orientation like a Detroit muni bond investor. In a universe dominated by dark energy like ours, expansion lasts forever. The Stelliferous era is predicted to last for roughly 100 trillion years, which is over 7,000 times the present age of the universe. Even the most pessimistic interpretation of the anthropic principle, therefore, places us only a fractional distance from the beginning of time. The degenerate era, post-dating star formation, then extends out to 10 to the 40 years, by the end of which time all baryonic matter will have decayed, and even the most radically advanced forms of cosmic intelligence will have found existence becoming seriously challenging. Black holes then dominate out to 10 to the 60 years, after which the dark era begins, lasting a long time. Decimal exponents become unwieldy for these magnitudes, making more elaborate modes of arithmetical notation expedient. We need not pursue it further. The takeaway: the principle of isotropy holds that we should not find ourselves anywhere special in the universe, and yet we do right at the beginning. More implausibly still, we are located at the very beginning of an infinity, although anthropic selection might crop this down to merely preposterous improbability. Intuitively, this is all horribly wrong, although intuitions have no credible authority, and certainly provide no grounds for contesting rigorously assembled scientific narratives. Possibly, I should concede most probably, time is simply ridiculous, not to say profoundly insulting. We find ourselves glued to the very edge of the Big Bang, as close to neonatal as it is arithmetically possible to be. That's odd, isn't it?